In the world of geography, the most interesting and the common term is earthquake. So, whether you have studied geography or not, you definitely would have heard the term earthquake. When you hear the term earthquake, some questions should come to your mind. A. Why do these earthquakes occur? B. What are those factors that can increase the possibility of earthquakes? C. Can earthquake be stopped in time? In today's video, we are going to find answers to these questions related to earthquake through animations. An interesting feature that we should know is that tsunami and earthquake are related to each other. So, we will try to understand tsunami and earthquake through animations. But before we understand tsunami and earthquake, we need to understand tectonic theory, as it is this theory that explains earthquake in the best possible manner. Now, what is this tectonic theory and what does it mention? According to tectonic theory, the Earth's lithosphere is made up of large rock slabs, which we called as tectonic plates. Their structure is such that they fit together like puzzles, like the jigsaw puzzles we play. The important thing we need to note here is that these tectonic plates are always in motion, and the place where they meet each other is called as boundary. This boundary can be convergent, divergent, or transverse. Now, the simple meaning of earthquake is the occurrence of tremor in the earth due to tectonic activity. That is, the earthquake means the shaking of the earth. The tectonic movement is to be blamed for the shaking of the earth. But how does this actually happen? And the other question is, what are those points where the earthquake wave originate? And what impacts do earthquake have on the Earth's surface? Let's try to understand these questions. Causes of the earthquake. There can be many reasons behind earthquakes, out of which some are man-made reasons and some are natural reasons. The man-made reasons can be construction of large dam or deep underground mining. Apart from these factors, there are natural factors also that play an important role. The natural factors are plate tectonics and the energy around the fault zones. Let us see plate tectonics and fault zones one by one. The first one, the plate tectonic, is to be understood. As we have seen earlier, the tectonic plates on the earth are always in motion and they have boundaries. These boundaries make the plate slip over each other or they make the plate push against each other. This pulling and pushing causes tremors on the earth that we call as the earthquake. Now, this process is very slow process. But due to the slipping or pushing, there are boundaries that can be created. The boundaries are convergent boundary, divergent boundary, and the transform boundary. We should now know that very powerful earthquakes occur where the convergent boundaries are formed. For example, let's look at Himalayas. On one side, there is Eurasian plate, while on the other side, there is Indian subcontinent plate. These two plates are continuously moving closer to each other, which has resulted in the formation of Himalayas. And sometimes, due to convergent boundaries of these two, we also observe earthquakes in Nepal and in the other northern regions. Similarly, in the divergent boundaries, due to tectonic movement, earthquakes have been observed, but their intensity is much lower. Now, let us focus upon the fault zones. The fault zone also played a major role in the earthquake. In fact, in most part of the world, the immediate reason for the shallow earthquake is the sudden release of energy in the faults. But what exactly is a fault zone? Basically, in geological language, a fault means a significant discontinuity or a deep crack in the rock mass. The faults found in the Earth's lithosphere are formed due to none other than tectonic forces. How does this happen? Basically, tectonic plates are always moving, but sometimes the two plates get locked together and there is no space left for the movement. During this time, these plates remain in a static situation. That is, there is no movement. However, tectonic forces is still acting on them continuously. Therefore, the stress build up in these plates, and because of this stress, cracks or the faults develop, causing earthquake. When these faults get concentrated in one region inside the earth, that region is called as a fault zone. In the fault zone, due to tectonic forces, sudden energy can be released from the Earth's interior from any fault, causing earthquake. We have now understood the process of earthquake, and now we need to understand some terms. First, what is focus? The point from where the Earth's energy is released inside the Earth's interior, inner fault, is called as focus. And the exact point on the Earth's surface above the focus is called as epicenter. Epicenter is the place where the first wave of the earthquake is experienced on the Earth's surface. Now, let us focus on understanding the intensity of the earthquake. One important thing is that the intensity of the earthquake generated from the faults also depends on the structure of the fault. The larger the fault dimension, the higher is the intensity of the earthquake. Apart from tectonic movements and faults, there is another natural reason due to which earthquakes are generated, and that is volcanic activity. However, the severity and the extent of the earthquake generated due to volcanic activity is quite limited. So, this completes our understanding of the earthquake. So now let us focus on tsunami formation. A tsunami is actually an ocean wave whose wavelength is extremely high. The formation of the tsunami occurs due to an earthquake on the ocean floor. Before we understand tsunami in detail, let us first understand the difference between normal ocean wave and a tsunami wave. Normal ocean wave travels only on the ocean surface, that is, in the upper layers of the ocean. Whereas in the tsunami waves, there is movement of the entire water column. This is the reason why when the tsunami reaches the coast, they become highly dangerous and are extremely tall. Mostly, tsunamis are generated due to earthquake occurring at the convergent boundary. There is an interesting fact. The fact is given by Global Historical Tsunami Database, which says that 80% of the tsunami in the 20th century were generated only due to earthquake. However, there are other reasons also that can generate tsunami waves, like ocean floor landslides, volcanic activity, and even asteroid collision in the oceans. Now, let us understand the power of tsunami wave. The speed and the destructive power of the tsunami depends on the depth of the ocean. In the deep sea, the speed of the wave, tsunami wave, is very minimal. And that is why in the deep sea, the ship cannot even detect tsunami waves. But when the tsunami reaches the coast, it causes massive destruction. As tsunami is so dangerous, now let us understand what have we done as control measures for tsunami. Do you know that till now, scientists have not been able to invent any technology that accurately forecasts tsunami? However, with the help of tsunami early warning system, it is possible to identify earthquake that causes tsunami. These early warning systems have been extensively deployed in the Indian Ocean. These systems continuously observe the sea level, the sea waves in the Indian Ocean. And so, whenever there is a possibility of tsunami, the coastal areas are alerted immediately. So friends, this is what we have for today's video. We will meet you soon in the next video. Till then, all of you take care. Jai Hind.